Hey, what is going on, everybody? So the Chargers have started off this season on fire. They have started off on fire. You guys have probably noticed this. They are 4-1, sitting atop the AFC West, ahead of the Chiefs, who are actually in dead last place, which I did not expect coming into the season to see the Chiefs there at the bottom of the division. But the Chargers have been super good, especially in this past week, pulling off that victory against the Cleveland Browns. And Justin Herbert in that game was just electric, throwing dimes left and right. And so I sort of want to talk about this Chargers team and Justin Herbert. And one thing I think they've proved so far, especially in this past week versus this Browns team. If we take a look back to last year, where the Chargers finished off at the end of the season, they finished in the AFC West, third overall behind the Chiefs, as well as the Raiders with a 7-9 record. But now I think what we've seen so far from them this year, there's reason to believe they could finish atop the AFC West. I think it sort of depends on if the Chiefs continue their struggles, because the Chiefs definitely haven't looked as they have in the past. Their defense has been the absolute worst in the NFL, and their offense has struggled at times. Patrick Mahomes has already thrown as many interceptions this season as he already has last season, just in his first 5 games. So the Chargers are getting off to a great start, and I think there's lots ahead for them. But if you guys are new here, I put out NFL content almost every single day, stories from around the NFL, different things going on, news, rumors, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to see that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And if you guys do enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you drop a like on the video, because it just helps, get the video pushed out to more people. So when we take a look at this Chargers team, I think one of the biggest things coming in this season was their offensive line. At least one of the bigger areas that at least they focused on with Brandon Staley coming in here. The offensive line was definitely one of the biggest areas where they needed improvement, and that's exactly what they did. They came in here, signed Corey Linsley from the Packers, who was a free agent. That hurt me inside because I'm a Packers fan, so to see Corey Linsley leave, it was tough, but they got Corey Linsley. So far this year, according to PFF, he has been the 4th best center in the NFL, so that's worked out for them. They also came in and signed Matt Filer, 7th best guard from Pittsburgh. He's been great so far, according to PFF. And then they came in there, drafted Rashawn Slater, 13th pick in the draft, and he has been the 8th best tackle, according to PFF. So their idea of coming in and bolstering this offensive line has, I think, tremendously helped this Chargers team, this Chargers offense, especially Justin Herbert. If we take a look this season so far, he has been pressured on 26% of dropbacks, as opposed to last season, Herbert was pressured on 36% of dropbacks. So I think one of the reasons that Herbert has taken like another step, I'd say, in his game in his second season has a huge part to do with his offensive line, because obviously he has had more time to sit back there in the pocket and tear apart defenses. If we take a look at this game last week versus the Cleveland Browns, he was pressured, or the Chargers gave up a pressure on only 17.8% of Herbert's dropbacks, which was 4th best in the league, and they were facing a pretty, tough Cleveland Browns front there on Sunday. And if we take a look here at a quote from Brandon Staley, sort of talking about this Chargers offensive line, I found it here from The Athletic. It says here, said Staley, "It was a big mission statement of ours when we got here to make sure our offensive line was seen as a tough, rugged bunch of Jessies out there playing, because I felt like we were going to have a good enough skill players, and I think we've created a real toughness in that group. They're giving us a real good chance for us to be successful, and I'm really proud of that." So there's no question this Chargers offensive line has been one of the reasons this offense has been thriving, why Justin Herbert has been thriving. So if we take a look at that game, Justin Herbert went off. That Chargers offense went off in the 4th quarter. They scored 26 points in the 4th quarter, which is the most by an offense in one quarter, or in the 4th quarter, since 2013. And one thing I loved about that too is, you have Justin Herbert back there, Brandon Staley, going for it on 4th down, which shows how much he just trusts Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert just has that clutch gene, that clutch ability, sort of like guys like, at the end of the game, if you have Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, if you're a Packers fan or a Bucks fan, when the team gives you the ball back, you got like a minute left, you got to go score. You have, I'd say, a pretty high conviction that they have the ability to do that. And I'm not saying Justin Herbert is necessarily, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. I think he could definitely get there. But I think he sort of started to show that he has that, clutch ability. When the game comes down the line, you can trust him. And I think definitely Brandon Staley has been trusting him. And in that 4th quarter, Justin Herbert was converting on 3rd downs, converting on 4th downs. Just sort of showed, I think, the kind of player that he has become and the kind of player that he can be coming to the future. If we take a look here at his stats through the first 5 games of the season, the past 3 weeks he has been balling out. The first 2 weeks he struggled a little bit more, throwing 1 pick in the first one versus Washington, 2 picks versus the Cowboys. But in the past 3 games, he has not thrown an interception. He has thrown 11 touchdowns. He had a 122 versus that Browns team, almost reached 400 yards, finished off 60.5% completion percentage, 398 yards. So now this Chargers team sitting atop the AFC West with one of the best offenses in the NFL. Right now they are tied for the 6th best scoring offense in the NFL, averaging 28.4 points per game. And they have the 3rd most passing yards per game in the NFL, behind only the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there's no question, I think, that the Chargers could go really far this year if they keep this up, if Justin Herbert continues to play at this level. But that is going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I started this channel like a week ago just because I have another channel, the Packers channel. I'm guessing lots of you guys came from there. But I just wanted to have another channel where I could talk about the NFL, other stories around the NFL, because it definitely interests me. So I'm glad I've been able to do that on this channel. So thank you guys who have subscribed, who are supporting the channel. I'll be out soon with another video on the NFL. But thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the next video.